Right.
Everything should be good.
Are the audio levels fine? People watching, can you hear Venris? Can you hear me?
I have the same question to my audience. If you want to see our nice faces, then go to Nathan's stream. I'm not that
Can
smart
hear
to set
both?
a Discord to work that way.
Cool, we can hear. Cool. Yeah, people can hear, that's good.
No.
So let's start. Hello everyone. Drama time, apparently. As you guys are aware, TIDES of Torment has been delayed once again, which is the second public. I'm assuming multiple delays have been happening in the past. So we decided to chat, myself and Venris, because we talk a lot, and it's always good to get that out there. We've got two different perspectives. One's from a content creator, and one's from a highly respected modder. So, yeah, fun times, right?
Yeah, it's fun times. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Let's go with the positives maybe from the beginning, you know?
Yeah, we'll start off with the trailer, right? Because like the trailer looks decent, I guess.
It's decent. I would say it's decent. Warhammer 3 have very mixed trailers. Like some of them are amazing, like the Immortal Empires one was great, but like the Omens of Destruction, I don't even remember what was it.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas I would argue that the Thrones of Decay one was really good too, because it just had
Yeah,
that element
okay.
of storytelling, didn't it?
Yeah,
This,
I think the best trailers are the trailers that are having a short story in itself.
yeah, definitely. This one wasn't too bad because I think, look, in certain ways we got to see some really cool stuff. The Ettins, for example, I'm really happy that we're getting Ettins, right? Ettins are one of my favorite models. They're so rare to come across. I think on eBay you can find them for like £300 each if they show up, and they'll go super quick because they're very rare. So it's good to see some rare models coming into the game, and obviously getting a nice look at the Carla. I'm a big fan of hers. There just wasn't a lot shown.
It really feels like a teaser. Not many units are shown. Funny enough, I thought if I would not be in like this community of Total War, I would think that the Lockyer is a legendary lord that is shown. He's shown more than the Norska guy.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It's really odd. Yeah. I suspect that that Lokia will either get some sort of rework. At this point, if he doesn't,
I don't think he will.
And that's what worries me. It's like, oh yeah, let's put this character on the screen. And if like you said it, he looks like a main character. If he doesn't have anything, this is just really bad planning. Like the one singular dude making these trailers now must be incredibly overworked.
Yes. I don't think he will be reworked because Alberic was in the Shadows of Change and he got nothing.
Was he?
Alberic was, I think Boris was.
Oh God, yeah.
No, Alberic was in the last one. Sorry. Alberic was in the last one, I think. He died there. So he didn't deserve a rework. But it's like there are actual zooms in on Lockyer for the full screen in this trailer.
Yeah, he looks like a main character. Yeah, I will say, like, Lockyer looks amazing. Like he's always done. I own his miniature. I'm a very big fan of Lockyer as a character. But like, if there's nothing there, it just feels odd. It's the thing, we've barely seen anything. Like, we got a nice shot of the Moam, but that was kind of expected because Aisling was coming and they're like attached to each other from 6th edition. The Praeton being included was a choice.
But the Praeton is like shown for 5 seconds also. This is weird.
Yeah.
Why? Usually when the new units are cool shown, they are not teased in a way that they are somewhere on the background. The trailer should show the juicy part. And I don't remember. Did we have a Chimera here?
Chimera was confirmed for Norska, but I don't think it was in the trailer.
Yeah, there was a new giant unit inside somewhere.
The Etten. That's the Etten, yeah.
Okay, so this is one Norska unit. Besides that, there was no Chimera. Why? That they advertised it. There should be a Chimera.
Yeah.
There were no the Snake Riders for Slaanesh.
Yeah.
For Slaanesh, there was almost nothing.
No, you can see a lot in the trailer. The problem with CA lately with trailers is they do these 30 frames per second trailers.
Mhm.
At least the one that I got access to like an hour before the trailer went live was like 30 frames. And you can see like Slangors very faintly. And you can see the banner, which I know very well because I have that model fucking 5 times. You can see he's a Stirka. You can see his model, right? Like you can see the banner.
Still. You know what? I will go and show the trailer on my screen when I find it.
It's odd that there wasn't more. Like someone mentioned in the chat, it's like, well, they reused that little teaser that they put out. Remember a few months back they put
Yes, it reused a lot of stuff from it. The animation of, I don't remember the names, the main Slaanesh Lord when she's going up, it was in the preview. So there were just, I will not call it a bullshot, but they were animations for the trailer. The same with the Norska. Those were like what, 6 months ago?
Yeah. That's the problem. It just feels like there wasn't a lot of time, and it's a shame because again, the trailers are generally quite good. I still remember the shock watching like the first trailer for, say, for example, the Twisted in the Twilight or whatever. You know, a lot of those DLC trailers were cinematic at that. Hell, every trailer from Warhammer 2, I think, took something from like a cheesy, popular film.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Like my favorite one is the Warden and the Punch, and it's Mad Max. It's Mad Max, so it's great. The Prophet and the Warlock was Predator, and things like that. There is like a no direction in this trailer, sadly.
Yeah.
It's like nothing is happening here. I'm going through the trailer, and the units are starting to show at the half of it.
Yeah. You can tell that it was uploaded in a rush too. I don't think much direction came into this. Let's be very clear here. This announcement was a panic announcement.
Yes, it feels like a panic announcement. Let's face that. Nothing shown. Maybe the trailer was meant to be like that. Okay, maybe it was finished like several months ago.
Yeah.
But usually with the trailers, we always had a blog with the units, with the showcase, with other stuff.
There's nothing. There's nothing for us to go all excited about. Like, look, I'm putting it from like my perspective more than like anyone else. This is my faction, right? Slaanesh is my faction. If it isn't obvious, see the background. Right? And I'm really kind of peeved. Like, we all kind of knew it was going to be the mask for the FLC, right?
Still.
We all knew. And it kind of killed me when they just went, oh yeah, it's the mask. It's the same thing like a few blogs back. It's like, oh yeah, it's Aisling for the High Elves. It's like, dude, those are big names.
Do something more. Show something more.
Like, show the excitement. I saw, like, you can see her for like 5 frames, right? You can see the mask in the trailer for like 5 frames, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy because she looks like the old school mask. Not the new Age of Sigmar version, but the old model that I grew up with, right? So for me, that's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Show me screenshots.
There's nothing... You know what? The similar problem was on the previous trailer for the previous TIDES of... Omens of Destruction. Omens of Destruction had a moment that was just a render of a campaign map. Without a UI. It was terrible.
Yeah.
The production value for the last 2 DLCs for the trailers is low. Especially if you compare them to the masterpieces like the Sisters of Twilight trailer. That was amazing. Like the direction-wise and other stuff. So, going on the side even of presentation of a trailer, if we like it or no, the story of or how it looks, it does not do its job.
Yeah. Look, someone just pointed out here I think the problem is having three factions that are not directly butting heads, but the thing is they are, right? Dakala, the denied one, hates high elves, right?
Yeah, but she's killing a random elf.
Yeah, but like they're going to have to be butting. Like this is the thing, from a logical perspective, they'd be butting heads, and then Sail the Faithless, who is known to just basically just make things worse in the background, right?
Yeah, but you know what?
There is a sort of narrative that they could have played into. That's what I mean.
That's the best trailer will always with narrative. Yeah, even if the DLC was not the best, the trailers the best ones where there was a clash. That's why I think always that the making two factions DLC were better idea, so they can sing better. But this one felt like as a random scenes, and it didn't advertise DLC good. Also,
it feels disjointed.
And none of the new units, besides the Merworm, I maybe would say at the end, was not in highlight.
Yeah. So they did some cool stuff to showcase, but okay. So the Sky Cutter, right?
That's a good scene, but it's 4 seconds.
Yeah, but not only that, it's like all these ships and stuff like that. It's like I get it, it's a naval faction, but this isn't the naval DLC. Like you could have shown the Sky Cutter.
Yeah, but you know that this is a naval faction. Trailer doesn't tell it.
Well, yeah, but like all these ships popping up, people are going to go like, "Oh, naval battles confirmed next year." You know, that's the biggest DLC that's coming. It's not the end times; it's naval. It's like that's not going to happen. They can barely make a DLC as it stands now. They're not going to make a new game mode.
Yes, but Nathan, the moment that the elementals are even appearing, it's not visible that it's okay, it's for a moment I can see that there are high elves units around it, but it's like those. I don't know. I don't feel that this unit is for this faction and so on and so on. If I will, it's very disjointed. Everything is very disjointed here, and sadly, it's not presenting the faction good. It's presenting Lokier amazingly. Lokier is having a good trailer, finally. But besides that, there's really nothing to be excited about from this trailer, at least. From trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be long. They said, what, November 6th, they're going to be posting something or something like that, right?
4 for 6. We need to check the blog.
So that's like, what, 3 weeks away?
Yeah.
Let's have more silence. That's the best thing that we can have. More silence.
The hotfix. Apology, that is not apology. We know that. 25th anniversary. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe someone on chat will confirm it. But I think they said November 6th or something like that.
I think a big issue here is also the fact that you have to look at it this way. Barring the fact that this trailer was rushed out, and it's very obvious it was rushed out.
Yeah.
It's a year between content, and before anyone jumps down our throats, despite the issue that has just arisen very recently, because it's only been a month and a half since the AI issues, this DLC has taken over a year to come out. It's not 12 months like people think, because keep in mind that this DLC was originally slated for after Thrones of Decay, before Omens of Destruction from the original roadmap, meaning that work on this DLC has been going on for a fair amount of time now.
Yeah. From the information that we have, at least.
Yeah. It's a very logical way of thinking about it.
I'm quite sure that this trailer was done way previously, before the DLC was even remotely ready. They gave them some assets that they did, like Preyton, Merwim. They just took it from or the models of the lords and just do something with it.
Yep.
So this really gives a vibe that the DLC won't have direction also, which is worrying, at least from the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's really good, and this is the thing. It could be a good DLC. I personally don't like. I put Omens, for example, as good enough, right? Not good, but good enough.
Yeah.
Especially since we had to wait so long.
It was a mediocre DLC, but mediocre is good. Mediocre for me is like 6, 7, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
To compare it, Shadows of Change was 3. To this day, it's like, today maybe I will rank it 4 with all the additions. I still think it's a very bad DLC, even with all the ads.
Now, I would say given the drama, given everything going on, given the amount of time we had to wait for this DLC, Tides of Tardiness, as people are calling it, needs to be Thrones of Decay level. And if it's not Thrones of Decay level, then it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to be good enough. There will be problems, much more problems than this review bomb that has been going on and stuff like that. And we'll talk about the review bomb in just a second.
Yeah.
But I am concerned because how do you have such a cash cow and allow this to consistently drop the ball?
It's 3 years. It's 3 years, over 3 years of dropping the balls, as you just said. And it's really, I don't know why, because this game is not that complex to make. Let's face it. I'm modding this game for almost 9 years right now. A simple fixes, simple adjustments are not that hard. There was an amazing example with how things were done in the past. Legend said it about the disproving grounds of ports that they did. They were not scared to make some drastic changes to the game and just test them. Okay, we don't want it, we get back with it. Those changes are really not hard to do. From my modding experience, doing a full rework of a technology tree for one faction, 8 hours a day, it's 1 week for one person that knows the game. Really, it's not that hard. It's so easy to do in this game because this game is a spaghetti code, but it's easy to do it. It's hard to make it working sometimes, but the things like technologies, units, buildings, those are the things that can be done in matters of 15 minutes. I'm not joking, really. So I don't know why we are dropping the balls right now so often, and we have 12 months of no DLCs and no substantial content besides the Lizardman and Tomb Kings rework, which was okay.
I do actually want to stop you there because that's a very important thing. Regardless of the issues that cropped up because of 6.3 and so on, we shouldn't shit on the Tomb King and Lizardmen updates. The AI was another problem, obviously. But ultimately, like the Tomb Kings, I've had a lot of fun playing with the Tomb Kings recently. I think that they were very, very good updates. Bless, again, the probably single dev who was likely sitting in a corner getting all this work done and probably thinks that people don't like his or her work. The same thing with the Lizardmen stuff. The new tech tree for the Lizardmen actually made me go, okay, I'm going to play Lizardmen, you know? Like, that's something which... like, holy shit.
Idea with the Blessed resource, very good also. I think it should be expanded a bit. But overall, I agree that this was a good content drop. It was very late still. And the fact what we got with it, so a whole drama, is a different point, yes, of view. It's just because I've seen some people shit on the update for the Lizardmen and the Tomb Kings. I was like, well, this is not... You shouldn't, because those were generally good updates. And it's just the AI broke, and it's probably not the fault of the dev, you know? Nathan, that was a very rare situation when we got actual content drop outside of DLC.
Exactly.
They could have waited with this to DLC, and probably they would. Normally. Like, I'm not trying to play I'm not trying to defend CA. It's more it's just the thing of there are some people who are very obviously very passionate about Warhammer and Total War still at CA, maybe less and less each time, but it's very, very important to just say those content drops were good. It's the same thing like the Kislev rework that dropped a few months prior to that and so on, right? Like, those are very good content drops. Just because a problem arises doesn't mean it's the same fault of that same group of devs or whatever. We don't know what's going on. I, for one, I would be curious to know, but that's stuff that we'll never really know publicly, right? Yes, but the problem with those stuff, I think, in Legend really highlighted a problem of Total War, Warhammer 3, the thing that we always were talking about it, is that Warhammer 3 is not about what new cool content will be added to the game, but what they will fix next.
Yeah.
And this is the problem.
It's I described it recently when the drama started. I went out with some friends to like have a drink and stuff, and they were like, "Hey, what's going on with Total War? Like, we only keep up with you, and your last video was pretty angry." I'm like, it's kind of like a manic depressive thing. The way I explain it to them, it's like, okay, one day we're up, one day we're down, and it's always up and down, which is really sad because with Warhammer 2, we went up, 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 up. We had a small down here and there, but it was always consistently going up. And Warhammer 2 had that really strong benefit of just becoming an evolving title. Whereas Warhammer 3, like, we had a shitty launch. And then we had Immortal Empires and Champions of Chaos. Great. Then we had Chaos Dwarfs. Fucking awesome. Shadows of Change. And it's like, okay, big down. Then Thrones of Decay, yes! And then quiet, right? And it always keeps coming up and down and up and down. And I think it pushes people away. It pushes people to fall out of love with the game, which I think is a really worrying thing, you know?
It's hard to love Total War these days. Let's face it.
It is. And it's coming from people who, like you and I, play a lot of Total War. You mod a lot of Total War. I like to play a lot with mods and so on. I'm finding myself playing less and less, which, you know, as a guy who's got like 5 different tattoos of Warhammer Fantasy stuff, right? That's a bit weird when I don't want to play.
As I said, the problem, you see, this is a problem. This is a problem, as you're saying. It's hard to even get thoughts for this because, yes, I love this series and I want to play this series more, but there are so many jarring issues, and sadly those issues are very visible when you're playing a lot. Yes, you want to have your campaigns always different, but you cannot. You need to use mods to buff specific factions because they are very underpowered. This is the problem since Warhammer 2. Some factions are totally underpowered in comparison. Especially the DLC ones are overpowered, yes? Then, when we are getting a DLC, in many cases recently, those new DLC's factions are one-time ponies. Like, Skulltaker is one-time campaign. I really like his mechanic, but there's really no incentive to play him again. And I played him once. Really. That's the thing. Gorbad is it's a free DLC Lord level, sadly.
Yeah, Gorbad wasn't great. It's a shame because his model looks awesome. You know, like...
model, but this is it. Arbal, this is a way better campaign. From the best thing from Omens of Destruction we got was Arbal. From the blog of CA, we are seeing that Tyrion will have the exact mechanic as Skullfront and Balthazar Gelt are having. And Goldfang.
Yeah. It does. There's a concern where, because they said it's like, oh well, there's going to be like a tower or something, right? I've not got the blog
Chaos
on me because
my first thought, Chaos Dwarfs. They are doing Chaos Dwarfs again.
And see, I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, there was a modder who kind of did that anyway, right?
Yeah, he did the plagues and many other. I'll find the name.
So it's like,
because he's a very good modder.
Yeah, it's just I don't mind like mechanics being redone and stuff like that because in some cases it ends up. Pardon?
His name is Rox.
Rox, that's true. Yeah, he did a lot of mods actually during that period, like really, really quickly. So there is like if that's what's going to be, that I don't mind as long as it's got its unique flavor. My more concern around everything going on right now is if so much is coming in, right? How much was done before? How much is still being worked on, which required yet another delay? Because the delay, I think right now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying it's like, well, because it's everything's on fire and nobody's going to be able to. It's like, is it or is it the fact? Because funny enough, I was talking to the Skeleton Crew guys a few days ago, right? Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, you know, what if this gets delayed? And someone mentions like, oh, if it gets delayed, it'll probably get delayed for like a month or two. And I'm like, well, if it gets delayed for 2 months, it wasn't ready to begin with.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're near the end of the month, and this DLC would have had to release, as per their own public YouTube video, which they did that interview thing. They said that their plan was end of October.
So 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
More or less.
So if the plan was end of October, if it had to get delayed because of this recent drama, that would have meant maybe another week or two, so mid-November, not start of December. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even then, is it going to get delayed again? Is this, like, it's just weird how the communication is so minimal.
Nathan, also, remember, let's get back into the past for a moment. Warhammer 2 had DLCs constantly from 3 to 6 months between them. That had more unique mechanics, more unique models, had a written narrative, written campaigns for Vortex, and then the Immortal Empires.
Yeah.
In fact, we were getting more content and in more frequently, way more.
Yeah.
And now, especially after Omens of Destruction, my fear is that the Tides of Torment will be again a reskin in many places. Because sadly, almost all the core units were just reskins.
Well, no, you are completely correct, because we had Sylar, and then we had fake Sylar with all the units, right?
Yes.
And it was just basically the same mechanic, and they were using the Radogre animations, weren't they?
All the units besides the guys with the chains, they were just the same models as Norscans.
Yeah.
And that's a big fear of everything here right now, being honest. I don't know. The delay of 12 months is never good for such a small content. I assume for the games it's fine. We had a lot of conversation about the Cyberpunk that it should be delayed at least a year. But like, this is a DLC that is being delayed for right now, what, 6 months?
That's the big thing. Yeah. That's the big thing, right? I think a lot of people, because like, I'm fine with a delay, right? At the end of the day, if it needs to be delayed so it's actually a good product, it's better for a delay, right?
Yeah,
I rather that. I've got the cat trying to get in front of the screen and everything. She's going to get in front of the camera.
You're vanishing. Only your head is floating right now, you know?
Right, I mean, see, this is the problem. But it's very odd where this is a company that is able to make a game a year, or used to be able to make a game a year, because we've had that, right? And they can't seem to make a DLC. Why does it take longer for them to get a DLC done than it has been to get a game done, in a sense, right?
So this would be linking with the rumors. If we want to go to the rumor engine, let's call it, that this game team that is doing Warhammer 3 is very small. Someone is saying it's 10 people, some it's 20, so it's 30. Like, being honest, if you give me talented 15 talented modders, we can make amazing DLCs in a very short time. Trust me, it's so easy to do. If you can pay them full time, then it's just ask the people that are doing the Soden, not the Soden ones, Indian Koresh land mod. It's amazing. And we have that. And the rumor is saying that all heads are on Warhammer 40,000 right now.
Yeah, 40,000 and the next historical, which might be like med free and stuff, right? But the thing is, before we jump into like the next games and so on, I want to kind of elevate what you said. Obviously, you've said just get like 15 talented modders and you can make it. There's a difference, obviously, because obviously you guys don't have to deal with GW directly, and Sega.
True.
But that's my question also. What is their delays factored in by GW? Is it factored in by Sega? Is it factored in by shoddy management at CA? Mm-hmm. Because something clearly isn't working.
Yes.
And it's just really odd.
Something is really wrong with the chain of command. We even see it in terms of how this DLC was advertised. Advertisement of this DLC was extremely choppy.
Yeah.
We had information every 4-5 months, something like that. The blogs, which were nice, but they were very vague. When even the Omens of Destruction had a very specific one. We had a lot of information there in each of the blogs. We are not getting any information. We still don't know even one mechanic for this DLC, actually.
Yeah. we have like very basic information. And I will like say like the developer showcases that they did, right, with like those round table videos that they did. Those were cool.
Yeah.
Those were cool. But them being so far apart, and then as like for the High Elf one, they were like, oh yeah, there's going to be news regarding what's changed for Norska and Sunesh. And it's like, oh, but there was nothing in there. You guys didn't really speak too much about it, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, and it's just like,
where is it?
It's really strange where not a lot is being spoken about when there's a lot of expectations, myself included. I've got a lot of expectations. It's not just because I'm a content creator and yes, this is a financial thing for me, because yes, it is. This is my part of my job, but also the fact that this is my setting. It's my fucking setting, right?
Yeah, but it's also hard to hype something for other people when you're not hyped on it right now, because we don't have zero information. I also am living from Total War. Let's face it. But it's like, where is it? Where is the information? We got this trailer. That is okay. It's okayish. The blog is okayish. Where's the rest? Yeah.
And this is this silence is going to keep continuing. And I think that the problem, and this is why I get kind of angry when people start going about, oh, future games. If they've done it to this one, and they've done it to other games, because they've done it to Free Kingdoms, they've done it to Rome, and so on, they will do it again in the future. And that's what makes me worried. A lot of you guys here,
Silent kill,
like on the chats, kill it or completely ignore it and stuff like that. Because if they've done it to other titles, they will do it to the future ones. And I see all these people going, oh, because Total War 40k is this, and Total War 40k, 40k. It's like, great. So next year or the year after, at this rate, maybe 5 or 6 years' time, depending whenever the game actually comes out, that will suffer the same fate. And that's what makes me worried, right? You guys have to see it in that point of view, because I see it in my Discord all the time. They're like, "Oh yeah, because CA is probably they're letting Warhammer 3 suffer because they're busy with whatever comes next, right? Hyenas 5."
Yeah, Hyenas.
Hyenas 5. They cancelled one. They've already shelved 2, 3, and 4. And now it's 5. But it's like Fallout 76. They skipped a few numbers.
Yeah.
But if they've done it to that, they will do it to these, and it's important. We really need to not allow this, and it sucks. It needs to be spoken about, but the moment people are thrown the next shiny, they forget.
Yeah, yes, but with this trilogy was weird because we don't didn't treat Warhammer 2 as an expansion, as a separate game. It was just an expansion to one, let's call it.
Yeah.
But the 3 was not like that, because 3 changed everything. Changed the UI, changed it a lot of times in the script, how the resources working, and so on. They wanted it to be a new game and not a continuation of the second one. And I think that was a gigantic mistake.
Yeah.
Doing stuff like those survival battles and so on, things that from the first trailers people were saying, no, please no.
The thing is, it felt fine, and this is a problem, right? Like, it was very clear that CA's marketing was done in a very smart way for that, right? So when I got invited for before the reveal of Warhammer 3, we did a survival battle, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. This is the end of the campaign or whatever, right? That's how my interpretation was for it. Because we didn't get told what the lead up to that was. We didn't get told about the fucking Realms of Chaos. And it's like, there was so much stuff that could have been done and done better. I think they could have still had the Warhammer 3 map at launch and just done what I think Prop Joe did within 1 or 2 days after the launch.
Yeah.
Turning off the mechanic.
Yeah. And but the weird thing is, getting back to my point, is the direction of how they wanted to do Warhammer 3 did not work from the beginning.
Something changed drastically.
And why not instead get back to what we had in Warhammer 2, So better communication, actual patches that are doing some changes to the game, because sadly the patches are not doing a lot of to the games, to the Warhammer 3. And there are still drastic differences between the factions, yes? Like the small income traits and so on. And and instead of that, they went silent for this last year. And we are getting a teaser of a trailer.
No, they haven't gone silent. They've just been too busy doing their own bloody... look at us, we survived 25 years.
Yes, exactly. About being silent and getting a bit on the last drama, Warhammer 2 had way more glaring major bugs than Warhammer 3. Let's not forget about it. The launch of Warhammer 2 was way worse than Warhammer 3. I just want to remember to people that were not here, maybe there was a bug that was making when your unit got a chevron in battle, then all the values reversed. And the unit was going with 0 stats in battles. And this bug was found by Indie Pride, Milk and Cookies Total War, on a video. The next day, CA added announcement that they are fixing it. At the end of the week, there was a hotfix.
Yeah.
Here, Legend made a video. We had a Reddit post that you always emphasize. Comment, Reddit comment.
No, because they've done this again. So there's a bug right now with Free Kingdoms, right? Yeah. It's just like the game doesn't work properly because of some update that's come in. And again, it was in the Reddit thread. It was like, I have got Free Kingdoms downloaded because I still play Free Kingdoms. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'll check the announcement tab, where Steam is and stuff like that. Nothing.
And getting back, we got comment on the same day because Legend had to highlight it. Sad. So no Reddit post would be, not ignored by CA. Then a week after we have this announcement that there was going a hotfix, and then 2 weeks after the whole debacle started, we had a hotfix. 2 weeks to get a hotfix, from my understanding, was 1 day work. And you need to remember one thing, because this is a thing that no one is telling you. I know it because I know how to upload games to Steam because I have my own game. When you're uploading game to Steam, it's only uploading the files that are changed. And from my understanding, it was in a DB file. The DB file is around 7 megabytes. So uploading this hotfix took Creative Assembly 5 minutes.
The problem there, and this is again going back to management, the way I understand how things are going with CA right now is this is likely how it used to work in one of my old offices. You have one dude doing the work, and then like 7 managers, and it has to go from that one dude to that manager, to that manager, to that manager, to that manager. And what happens? By the time that it goes there, it takes 2 fucking weeks.
You think that there is a situation similar to what was in the Blizzard when Bobby Kotick was the CEO, the person that did not like games, as he emphasized many times?
It could honestly be that. Because, if you look at it, right, it's very clear there's a lot of devs at CA that love Total War.
Yeah.
It is. Because I follow some of them on their, private socials and stuff like that, and they're tweeting about Total War.
Yes, the animations, the text, everything has a lot of love.
Yeah, you can tell that they love the game, but either there is, some point of command where they just don't love Total War, or they're much more focused on numbers. But the thing is, good product brings good numbers.
That's true. But it's like, I really don't understand it still. Dead Baron made an amazing review of Total War recently. I spoke with him about that, and that he's more like a graphical modder, but he said how many assets and stuff are still outdated from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, even Warhammer 3, and they are not touched. And they could be fixed using modern tools in a matter of minutes. Again, why not upload it? Why not ask a community bugfix mod, sorry guys, can we just add your stuff to the game?
The problem there again, and this I have to play devil's advocate here. Games Workshop and Sega. But Games Workshop are very protective of their IP unless it's someone that they've officially approved. They're not going to let someone go, let me
Okay.
touch up this texture.
But looking on the user agreement, all the mods are property of Creative Assembly already.
Oh, no, yes, but it's still how Games Workshop works. Believe me, like, GW are very, very protective of their IP, probably one of the most litigious out there. There are constant lawsuits. So it's just how it is. I understand that. And you know what? Like, despite what many people will scream about on Twitter and stuff like that, right? I respect the fact that Games Workshop are so anally protective of their IP. Because if you're not protective of your IP, then your IP starts turning into garbage, like Star Wars.
Okay, then Space King series guys have a problem then.
No, because that is parody law. That's actually very, very different. The Space King guys, they're doing their own parody thing. Parody law is protected. It's a different thing, right?
Let's hope that's how it is.
But it's more of the case of you're not like... If you let things go to shit, then you end up with Star Wars. You end up with what the fuck has been going on with that franchise for the past, I don't know how many years, where it's just a joke in itself.
Yeah, around 10 years right now it would be. Since the movies,
Exactly.
The movies were 10 years ago, I think, the new trilogy, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
When they started.
So,
yeah, so it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Now.
So you have to protect it, or else if you allow it to just turn into a joke, that's what happens, right? It's same thing with like just so many. I could talk about so many IPs that have just gone to shit lately. Games Workshop are always going to be protective over their IP,
Okay,
so they don't want certain things involved.
But the thing that you're saying, don't you think that gives a very grim, dark future for Total War Warhammer 40,000?
No, the thing is, I think, honestly, honest to God, I think that if Games Workshop were more relaxed, then they all, like, you know, because it's clear they've got CA on like a leash.
Yes,
there are many times that we've seen certain things.
40k is their golden child right now. Don't you think that the leash will be even shorter with it? And we will have even bigger problems with Total War?
No, I think that if a Total War 40k comes out, they'd have to make it even, like, they'd have to make it amazing, because all hands would be on deck for that.
Yes, it needs to be amazing. It needs to be amazing on a release, which is important.
Yeah. Whereas they don't care too much about fantasy. Fantasy isn't, like, they care, obviously, because it's still their IP, but fantasy is a dead IP at the moment. Old World is a separate IP as far as we're aware.
Yeah.
It's the same setting, but it's different. And it's really, really important to say that, because I think if CA had more free reign, and my ultimate worry is Total War 40k becoming Dawn of War 3.
There was no free. There was first, second,
and
there was fourth.
No. We have to acknowledge Dawn of War 3. We have to. Especially, keep in mind that the greatest percentage of 40k video games are below mid. Yes, but they're getting better now. They are getting better now. Look at this. We've had Dark Tide started releasing like shit, but that's what Fat Shark always do. Yeah. But they've improved it. Space Marine 2, phenomenal game.
From the beginning. Space Marine was from the beginning phenomenal. So that's a difference.
Exactly.
But like Dark Tide is a great example, because Dark Tide started a bit like Warhammer 2, I would say. Was a shit at the beginning, but it was always getting better, constantly getting better. And Warhammer 3 doesn't have this. It's as you said, it's good and bad, good and bad, good and bad, or very, very, very bad, yeah?
Yeah, it sucks that it goes up and down and up and down, and it's like, look, let's put it this way. If Dawn of War gets announced, if Total War 40k gets announced on the 4th, right, which we're all kind of expecting, right?
Yeah, it's 90% confirmed, I think.
So, Total War 40k, Dawn of War 4. If Total War 40k is going to like do well, fantasy needs to do well, because if it's shit, there's not going to be a lot of trust. And to be honest, at this point for me, if we have these two hypothetical games together, well, Dawn of War 4, but because it's real, we know it's a thing. I'm more excited for Dawn of War than I am for Total War.
You know what? I recently started to play 1920 Iron Harvest. So the game that is made by the people that are doing Dawn of War 4, and I have a total trust in Dawn of War 4. Because this game is amazing. This game is really good strategy. Funny enough, it was based on Dawn of War, clearly, and now they are doing a Dawn of War game.
Yeah.
40,000, we have, as you said, the fantasy needs to be good for us fans of Total War to buy it. But what happens when fans of 40k will buy it, that got to Total War for the first time, like many people did with fantasy, and now come here, they will be 10 times more than the fantasy, let's face it. And we know that every single drama, even the line of lore that is changed, like with the Grey Knights recently, there was a big drama with 40k. Imagine that drama hitting Total War from 40k fans.
Exactly.
The thing that we are seeing right now on Steam will be...
It's nothing.
No, it will be like a warm summer day for CA, because they will be happy getting back to this memory that we're having this drama right now. The dramas in Total War 40k can drown the company. Let's face it. 40k is so big. People don't understand how big the 40k is.
Yeah, it's massive. 40k, you can talk to like randomers at a bar, whatever. 9 out of 10 times they've heard for 40k. Even if they don't play 40k, even if they don't play video games.
I had a situation like that because I'm playing Dark Heresy tabletop very regular with my friends. And we were getting back from the game with my other friend, and we were driving a taxi. And we were saying about the campaign and so on and so on. And the driver was asking, are you talking about Warhammer 40,000? I was like, yes, we do. And he's like, for the Emperor. Guy was like 60 and he knew Warhammer 40,000. That was very surprising. I know.
Yeah, and the thing is, 40k is going to get more popular. Look, next year is likely 11th edition, right? Yeah,
we have hints for that.
So, like, we've already been hearing rumors for 11th edition and so on. That's another big push, because every time there's a new edition for 40k, it gets bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, we're going to get closer and closer to the first official news for like the Amazon stuff, right, with Henry Cavill.
I think it's this year we'll have some kind of teasers. The rumors are saying about the series and the movie right now.
Yeah, they said that they will probably do something for the end of the financial report, which should be around December. So that's something coming up.
The secret level had like such amazing views. This was only one episode of 40k, which was amazing, by the way. But
so think about it this way. Think about how big this could be. You have Total War 40k, 11th edition, and maybe the first official announcement for the first TV show.
Yeah.
And like, it would be massive.
Dawn of War.
Yeah, and Dawn of War.
I think the you played Dawn of War. So from understanding of your video, I assume the game is way more finished than people are expecting. It's playable, at least.
I got to play one mission of Dawn of War 4, right? On repeat, constantly, on repeat. And, oh my God. Because, like, I spoke to some devs prior, you know, and I was like, okay, I've played Iron Harvest. It's a good game. I'm still not bringing my hopes up. And I was just sitting here eating basically a chicken sandwich or something, just watching the download go. And I was getting progressively more excited. You know, when you've got that feeling in your stomach where it's just like butterflies and stuff, I'm like, okay. And then I fired up the game and I went, whoa, you know, like this looks beautiful. And I got into the match and it's like you play as the Blood Ravens, you're reinforcing some guards, you're fighting against the orcs, and then the fucking Necrons show up and some AdMech show up.
You got me excited already.
Yeah, I was playing through it, and I'm there going like, oh my God, I feel like a kid again, you know? Wow. Like, there was a feeling of pure, like, it was panic. I'm not gonna lie, it was panic, because I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna play this, and this game is not gonna come out until like next year, because I already knew like it was gonna be for 2026. And I fucking hate that I can't play the full campaign until next year. I was talking to the devs about that, right? Like, they were so kind to sit down for an interview. And this is one thing that was so drastically different, and I mentioned it. So different from CA. I sat down with these guys. I had to send in the questions prior, because this is a standard thing, right? But they were so open to answer every question, even adding to those questions. It felt like it was the most amazing interview I'd ever done. No holds barred. They literally, like, I made a joke about Dawn of War 3, right? And they fucking rolled with it, you know? I'm like, oh my God.
You felt like they want to make a good game.
Yeah. I had nothing but complete honesty from them. I was emailing one of the devs just back and forth, and they was just so on the nose, I guess.
You know what? And this is a thing that I think we had for a moment with Warhammer. You don't need to answer those stuff that I will tell you right now because you're more closer to CA than I ever was. But when I was contacted with Creative Assembly during Warhammer 2, it was amazing. I was able to privately talk with the devs. I had a lot of problems with modding or stuff. I got answered in a matter of minutes and so on. There was not even a problem. When Warhammer 3 hit, everything shifted.
Yeah.
I talked with Creative Assembly devs last time, maybe like a year ago, and I'm still sending them messages constantly. Even a month ago, I sent them a bug report about the towers not having the range increase for their abilities. Those vanilla ones that are setting in the values as 100, but in fact they have 35 only. No, nothing, no reply, nothing. It's like dead in the water. The chats in the modding, then the Discord for modding, it has dozens of messages with questions to Creative Assembly special channel that we have right now. There's no answer for months right now.
Yeah.
Like everything is gone. And you're talking right now that people that are doing Down for 4 are so freaking open. It got me hyped. And there is, even that we had the terrible Down for 3, look how much goodwill is in community for Down for 4.
Yeah.
And how much bad will is around Total War right now. Overall, not only for Warhammer, overall Total War.
Yeah, well, the bad will can easily be stopped if, honestly, just talk to us. Look, during Total War, during Warhammer 2, they used to do dead live streams, right? Like they've started doing now, and then they've stopped because shit shows and shit.
Yeah.
But during the dev live streams of Warhammer 2, they were much more open and asking questions. You used to be able to joke around with them and stuff like that, right? And it was good because that type of stuff was... That's when they said, could you please stop asking about Frank War?
Yes,
they said that in Warhammer 2. But it's good because that communication's good.
Yeah, but it was like normal communication, yes? Good example of games that both of us play. World of Warcraft and Diablo 4. They had a very big... bad periods of their time, but the devs never stop making live streams and never stop answering hard questions. We are getting gaslighted all the time since Warhammer 3 was released. Nothing is being addressed, no concerns or actual questions and so on. Even the Diablo 4 is even doing live chats on Discord right now every month with the devs. You can actually write directly to the devs and they will answer you. And we had something like that in Warhammer 2.
Oh, we had something like that in Warhammer 3 too. During they did the div interviews during Champions of Chaos and Chaos Talks.
Yes, there was a different community manager, so everyone loves him. But he was for a few months only. And then it just died. There's no community in this game.
Yeah, but it's another thing. You don't see it on the socials anymore. They used to be. You remember they used to joke around a lot on Twitter and stuff. I used to post some really stupid memes, and then they'd start trying to poke at me and stuff like that. Those community managers are no longer with CA, but those were great. Hell,
they were reposting stuff from YouTubers and modders. I remember my posts about SFO were reposted several times by official Total War and Creative Assembly. It was normal.
They used to joke around. I used to I remember on the build up to Azazel, I used to because this is. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm a big fan of Azazel. It's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, it's cool.
and then you start fucking teasing me on Twitter, going, oh, is it tempting? And that stuff is cool. That's what you want. You see it on the for example, World of Warcraft, right? They repost random shit all the time, and it's not just they used to and CA used to do that. It's reposting cosplays, sometimes people's minis of units that were in the DLC that was coming up and stuff. That stuff, that's great communication because that makes it less corporate. It's still a corporate entity.
Yeah, but it's way more corporate, as you just said it. Warhammer 3 feels very dry in that way.
Yeah.
something that could have been the best fantasy game ever made for Warhammer is becoming a problem for long-time players. Let's face it, like for someone that's making one campaign during a month, they won't see most of the problems that we are complaining about. And I'm fully agreeing with those positive reviews. Yeah, if I see someone have like 100 hours, 200 hours, I'm fine with that. But more you play, you see the lost potential in this game. Some things that could be just better. Not even talking about the lore, but like a mechanical standpoint, the freaking bug fixes, improvements, yes, and other stuff. Why we still don't have a trigger to disable the Realms of Chaos campaign? I want to play on smaller map. I'm a fan of playing smaller maps.
Yeah.
I want to play the Trouble in Kislev campaign without co-op. Why? There's a mod that does that. It cannot be that hard.
It's not only that. It's, look, how do we get very high mechanical strides? Because one thing I will always praise CA for is the really amazing work with the Chaos Dwarfs DLC, right? Mm-hmm. It was something which hit so high levels of quality.
Yes.
I played it so much, I made myself ill on stream. Yeah, it is. But like you see, that quality is there. And it's like, you think about it, that quality is there. Why don't we have that quality again? And then we did, obviously, for Thrones.
Yes, Thrones had the best mechanics in terms of DLCs.
So it's like, okay, we know we can get that quality. Why did Omens drastically drop off?
I cannot answer for that. Omens, also, people forgetting, Omens was so overpowered at the release, it was hilarious. Like, if someone never played it.
Yeah.
Skulltaker could win the campaign in 10-15 turns. It was like, really? No one tested it? No one played it? No one tried to do it?
Actually, and this is where things get in there a little bit more, because now we know that Creative Assembly do have an internal tester group of veterans and stuff, because they posted that on that blog, didn't they?
Oh, I didn't saw that. I didn't catch that. Okay, so this is good. This is good because
go on the blog just in case they removed it, but it's in my video.
I'm always getting to our Lord and Savior, Legend of Total War, that he was saying that the content creators group was ignored in terms of feedback for Warhammer 3. So it would be good to have an actual group that is not ignored, and they are actual players of the game.
But from what Legend said, this group has existed for a while. Ooh. And there have been suspicions that this group has existed since Warhammer 2.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
Where is the balance? Where is the stuff coming from? Like, what type of feedback are they getting back? They've apparently had this feedback for the mod manager. Are these people actual veterans? Are they just randomly picked out? Because focus testing does come in, so you can just get random people just to... It happens, right? Like, it's one of these things like, you don't play Total War. Would this make you want to play? Would this want to make you play it, right?
Yes, but Nathan, even with modding tools, going through the thread of bugs in Total War, if you know what you're doing, if you know the game, it takes you like 5 minutes to test the bug.
Yeah.
Okay, I know the bug. Why there is no one person that goes and tests the bugs? Okay, this is actual bug. I know how to fix it. I'm writing it for the different team to fix it. Okay? Yeah. And again, and again, and again. The organization of work, there has to be something wrong there. Really.
No, definitely. But I'm saying it from the point of view as like, if there's going to be like testers and stuff like that, are they actually testing stuff, or are they just saying, yes, this is good? Because this is something, by the way, it's not just with CA. It happens with a lot of companies where they'll have people to alpha test and beta test stuff, and they'll just say, yes, so they can actually stay in there. Like, this is good, no notes, no problems, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because it happens.
This is the debacle that we sadly can only speculate about it. Sadly. Because there's getting to the point that we got, that is, there is no communication with Creative Assembly. We don't know how this game is being made. What is the problem? Why not just openly say that it has a technological debt? Because it has. It has a gigantic technological debt.
Oh, they did. Remember? They did that whole thing of oh, there's do no spaghetti code, which again is just like, oh boy, we're gonna jump in with a spaghetti code conversation. Like,
Oh, yeah.
why did they make a blog about that? And that was during Warhammer 2, by the way.
Oh yes, that was Warhammer 2 times. God
Yeah,
damn.
that was in the old shitty forums, which I miss because they were so easy to navigate.
Yeah.
The new ones I don't like.
I don't use the new ones. I never did. I only go to the blog. But still, maybe you know what, Nathan? Maybe let's think about something good. There is a Legion remix right now, World of Warcraft, that we play. No
Well,
joke.
that's the thing. Yeah, no, because like the people who are playing, who used to play Total War on a weekly basis, to the point like I used to put 40 hours a week into Total War Warhammer 3. You know, I'm playing other stuff. I'm playing Legion. I'm playing Legion Remix.
Yeah,
I'm
I
having
started
so much
playing
fun.
Legion also. I'm working, of course, on SFO and other factions that I want to play with. But everything that's happening recently really doesn't give you incentive to play.
Yeah,
It does opposite. And I would like to be hype about the DLC, but I actually know nothing about it.
Yeah,
I saw
I'd
few
like to be.
units that I'm personally not a units guy, not a lords guy. I like the mechanics. Campaign mechanics are my pony, and I know nothing about them. The only thing is that from my understanding, is that Tyrion is getting the exact same thing that Karl Franz has, Gout, and the Goldtooth.
Yeah, and it's one of these things where it's like it sucks when you don't want to play Total War and you just want to play other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, we've had some good games. Fucking Dying Light, The Beast has been amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Game. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. But I don't know.
It's sad.
I want to play it. I sit down. I try to start a campaign, and I'm like, I remember everything that is happening right now, and yeah,
Yeah.
But Creative Assembly is doing this to themselves.
Yeah, but to put into perspective, I use Total War for so many different things. It's not just because it's the job and because it's like I want to like play a game. I will sit down when I want to like when I want to paint some models, right? Mm-hmm. I will fire up Total War Warhammer, get those units there so I can give them a good look, with the different types of like paint schemes. Yeah. I'll go, okay, how do I make this unit like that? Like my Cathayans aren't done in the normal way that like GW posted them and so on. They're styled to be like the Cathayans in Total War Warhammer.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like,
those are the things.
Yeah.
Where are those things? This is a thing that should be posted on the blog of Creative Assembly.
Yeah.
Even freaking Saber is doing it for Space Marine too.
Yeah.
They're reposting stuff on Twitter and so. Allcat is amazing in terms of reposting. Yeah. They posted the Berserk meme recently, even.
Yeah. So I when I did my Cathayans, I instantly thought I'm going to paint them in the style of, because Zhao Ming, right? Yep. His faction colors are very odd because while it's the white and black inverted from his sister, the units, the Gambesons, they're actually orange. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to paint my Jade Warriors with the oranges and so on, right? And that's stuff that. Yeah, I sent you pictures when I had them when the embargo dropped. Mm-hmm. So those are like, to me, I said that, and I remember sending those pictures to some CA staff, going like, this like Total War Warhammer had inspired me so much that the army was based on that for me, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that would have been a nice thing to kind of like repost. They didn't do anything for the tabletop release of Cafe, which is weird, considering that we know now that they asked them to do Cafe. CA asked GW to do Cafe.
I'm just looking on the blog right now, Twitter.
Yeah.
I will move it here so people will see it. There is last blog. Okay, so last post is the trailer, of course. Then about the delay. Then we have information that there is a new update for NVIDIA. Then we have information about the hotfix. About the hotfix that fixes the hotfix. Then October 7, we had the sale, autumn sale. Then the hotfix blog about the hotfix that will be for the hotfix.
Yeah.
Fixing the issue. News on Total War Tides Off. We're posting today's about the Clash tournament that was,
a paid event.
Yeah, the streams, the Thursday. There is no non-informational blog or post for last 3 months on Total War official information.
Yeah. Well, not only that, there was just no talk about anything. Again, where are the conversations about random stuff? Where are the memes? Where are this? This stuff is really important to keep your community active.
Especially today, because the gaming changed. The gaming changed. The creators and the players are way closer to each other right now.
Yeah.
And it's just not there. And I think...
And the thing is...
If they really want to go into the future, that probably this will be the second to last DLC. That's my assumption.
At this point, yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk about the leak now, can't we? Because it looks like the leak was true.
Yeah.
There was a leak a few months ago from someone who claimed that he was in some conference in China, and he started spouting some stuff which I thought was fake. Because Kraton for Sinesh, sea elementals. I didn't expect sea elementals.
Yeah, sea elementals were mentioned there. I don't think I will be able to find it right now, but there were some units, and after this DLC, that there is only the end times.
Yeah, so it's like apparently Dogs of War are happening, which is really interesting considering the fact that what happened in a year or two ago, we data mined Borgio and Lucaresia. So if Belladonna and Borgio aren't showing up anymore, that means that the work was done for them. They're likely modeled, maybe even textured and stuff, but now we're not getting it. So what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's a good question. Not what is happening, but let's say that at the end of this year we will have announcement of Warhammer 40k, and the whole advertisement machine will be around it. That will be a fact. Probably higher ups Games Workshop will want this game to be released as soon as possible, so 2026. Let's face it, they will want to. If CA will do it. I don't think so.
It's not happening. It is not happening.
But let's give the scenario that it doesn't happen and it's go 2027. In that time, we should get a very big, good DLC for the end times that finishes the game and leaves in a good state without most of the bugs. Many factions will be still underpowered or not updated, like in your last video. But in this very time, probably at October, November, something like that, Dawn of War 4 will release, because this is always the window for the big releases. And from what we saw, what company is doing it right now, it will be a success. Let's say it will be a success. And I'm quite sure that Dawn of War 4 will be a live service game, in a way, same as Space Marine 2 is.
They already confirmed They already confirmed the first DLC for Dawn of War 4.
What was
it? Dark Angels.
So there will be like a separate factions?
Yeah, it looks because they did an interview with some German company, and the database files showed it showed Dark Angels, and it's okay, cool.
So it would be Space Marines, Dark Angels, Necrons, Mechanicus, and Orcs.
No, that means that they've got plans. It means that they've clearly got plans to make sure that this game continues.
And I think it will be, especially what is happening with Space Marine 2, they will go that live service. So there will be DLCs, and in the meantime, there will be free updates. This is how Total War is. Let's face it, the Total War Warhammer, the trilogy, is a live service game. It's getting updates, content, things like that. And if Dawn of War will do it better, and especially that they said that it will have a campaign, it will have the last stand mode and skirmish. I'm really curious what this last stand will be, if it's heroes or last stand like a unification mode when you're defending base.
Yeah.
And I think the next step will be a campaign map in a style of Total War as one of the updates for Dawn of War 4. So something like the Dark Crusade did. And
I'd love that. Well, we're going to the same fucking planet as the Dark Crusade, aren't we?
Yeah. it's Kronos. And if this happens, then Total War Warhammer 40k is cooked. Let's face it.
Yeah. Look, between next year and the year after, we're going to have, someone mentioned it here, Mechanicus 2, We got Dark Heresy. There are rumors that there are other games coming out. Then obviously we got Dawn of War 4.
Space Marine 2 3 will have a teaser for sure. Space Marine 3.
Yeah, Space Marine 3. That's another one that I've completely forgot that they
Will
already
be released
confirmed that
next year,
game.
but it will get it will get a teaser for sure. I think it's 2027 as a release for a game, but it will get a teaser for sure. This game is such a success that they are forging it like crazy, and probably there will be other games that will be Dark Tide. Probably will get a new class. There is a rumors about new enemies gene stealers there. Again, so a lot of stuff is happening around it, and all of the big games that are 40k right now, and there's no much in terms of fantasy, are getting successes. So if Total War 40k won't be a success, and Mandalore will make another video about release and will say that don't buy it, as he did for Warhammer 3 release, they're cooked.
Yeah. Well, I think that they could end up seeing themselves destroyed here. If the next DLC sucks, people are going to stop. The fact of the matter is, how are you supposed to trust them for the next title? Especially this next title has to be in a new engine, right? This new title has to be in a new engine.
Do you believe that will be a new engine? I think they will update the engine, not make the new one.
I think, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're just going to get, what's the engine called now? Warscape or something, right?
Warscape something, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to get Warscape. They're going to rip out everything, right? Leave it like a skeleton, and then start adding in things back in slowly and call it something like, I don't know, War Tool or whatever, right? And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
I believe that.
The issue is, and I think people aren't really paying too much attention to the current issue, it's not one game. It's 2, maybe even 3. There are 2 games that are going to be announced. At the very minimum, 2 games are being announced on December 4th.
For the last 9 years, none of the games besides Warhammer Fantasy and Three Kingdoms were a success. I would not call even Three Kingdoms as a success because the game was abandoned very fast. And it had a very little player base from the beginning.
Total War Star Wars.
Total War Star Wars. No, please no. Please no. Please just no. From South Brittany, we had the Pharaoh. What other games we had? Troy. All of those games were a fiasco. They were not a successes. And now
I remember
people won't believe in the next historical game, even if it will be Medieval 3, I think. This is something like the hype about Medieval 3 is so big that it will never meet expectations.
Well, I mean, you're going to get Medieval 3, you're going to load into your campaign and realize that you're going to need a DLC to get a Crusade mechanic to play as a Crusader faction.
Or you will need a Blood DLC.
Yeah, no. They said a while back that they were stopping with the Blood.
Yeah, we shall see. Nathan! Okay, we lost Nathan. Let me just go that. Okay. Hello?
You froze for a second.
No, you froze for me.
That's weird.
That was your fault, not mine. Okay, I'm back.
I've been having internet issues and stuff.
No, Discord is going crazy.
But, yeah, where were we?
About Medieval 3.
Yeah. Oh, now you're speaking very quick.
I'm speaking very quick.
Yeah. Let me. I think it's something has just gone wrong with Discord. I mean, it's been an interesting time lately. Yesterday YouTube went down and everything. So.
How can you hear me right now?
I think you're okay.
Okay.
I think that there's a delay. I think very slight delay on your camera.
I'm too fast. People are saying, yeah. What the fuck?
Oh. Okay, you're back to normal. That was weird. So, now what were we saying? Yeah, like
Medieval 3.
Medieval 3. It'll end up becoming like this weird thing where you're going to need a lot of DLCs and stuff like that. And I think it's fine for a game to have a lot of DLCs if it's good content. The problem is that CA have been getting into the attitude of, getting a little bit like slower and a little bit, I don't want to say lazy, but it kind of fucking feels that way in some cases.
You know what? You can say
Complacent.
a similar thing about the Fat Sharks for Dark Tide. The updates for Dark Tide are very slow. Vermintide also, that was the same case. It was like 6-7 months. But when they drop the update, it's substantial. It's mostly bug-free, and it's a good update. That game has own problems, mechanical, let's say, but there are no bugs or things like that. Not the major ones. But with Total War, we are getting DLC and a pack of bugs.
Yeah. I'm just worried that we're going to get Medieval 3 and it's going to be just half of Europe with not a lot to it, and it's just going to be like that. And it's the same thing with Total War 40k, because there's all these rumors. I mean, fucking Valrak is posting rumors about 40k all the time, right?
He's posting rumors when someone, just knocks to his door. There's a rumor that someone knocked to my door.
Yeah, but the problem is, and I think that's the best way of saying it, a lot of the rumors that Valrak posts aren't really rumors, they're just direct leaks.
Yeah, he's just saying it as a rumors. I'm afraid of the rumors about selling skins for 40k. I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they fucking tried to do that with Pharaoh, didn't they?
Especially that they tried to do it with Pharaoh, and it backlash insanely.
Exactly. And there was one rumor, I don't like to watch Valrak's content too much, I'll be honest with you, because I just don't like the constant leaking, right? Now, I respect what he does because the guy obviously found his niche, and he does it well, right?
He did a great work with Space Marine 1 to get the community lively again. That was amazing work.
Yeah, he genuinely cares. He's a lovely guy. I've met him in person. Like, we had a nice chat, right? But I'm very on the, I have alerts for, stuff like that. And there was one thing that I've been hearing through Valrak's videos, and then obviously it's hit the greater audience, and people like Samora's come into my stream and say, these things. Campaign it's not going to be like an Empire at War situation, or it's not going to be set in Armageddon, but apparently there's this rumor going around that it's going to be generated kind of like a Civilization game.
Wow.
And
that sounds bad. And you will say one planet even, I assume.
Yeah, no, apparently it's just it's randomly generated. So your map is randomly generated. And for me, that sounds like, if that is true, that's not fucking Total War. That's Civilization.
That's terrible.
That's Gladius.
Even how it's called, Soulstorm for Dawn of War did it better. You had several planets that you need to jump through. Why not make? I'm always saying this idea that why not make that one planet is a province? It has regions. It has resources that you can extinguish and so on, that you can drain. And you need to. We have this even idea that is with the sea lines that no one uses in campaigns. Why not use this, that it is a warp jump? And you can get unlucky and you can be attacked through it. And you have the battle, on battleship map, but it's like a normal army on battleship or something like a Space Hulk. But make one province is one planet. And make the whole
it should
system.
Just been Empire at War. Literally Empire at War. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
Instead, and then we're hearing stuff like, again, Samora's just pointed out in my chat, these community events, Helldiver things, right? That was one of Valrak's original leaks, right?
That's not.
It doesn't work. It works for Space Marine. You've got to go kill 100,000 fucking mutilated vortex beasts, but I don't want to see Helldiver events. I don't want to see.
Maybe if it's like a separate mode, Nathan, then it will be fine. But don't touch my campaign, okay? It's a single player game. Don't touch it. It's mostly single player games. How many people are playing multiplayer in Total War? 10% of community? 5?
Less than that. That's less than 5 for sure.
Yeah, it's same like with the StarCraft. Blizzard said that less than 10% of players launched multiplayer. Not played, launched.
Yeah.
They're always playing campaign, people, and that's the thing with the games. Yeah, that's why they're Dawn of War 4. They're focusing on campaign. They said 4 distinct campaign there will be.
Because look, I think it's a very important thing. Just because, like, say for example, like Turin gets like 30,000 views for like his multiplayer videos, right? Doesn't mean 30,000 people are playing multiplayer.
No,
it's just 30,000 people really like Turin as a content creator. And to be fair, like, yeah, he's a really good content creator.
Yeah, and that's the same case why I watch his videos sometimes, because I like to hear him and not watch the playing. Like the same way was with Indie Pride, and he was doing the Medieval 2 mod for Warhammer.
Yeah.
I always like to watch those videos, but not like, I would not play it. It's like competitive is not for me.
People see the views on that content creator and think that that's the amount of people playing. Like, oh yeah, I've seen people like do videos on like dead games, right? Like completely dead games that have like no audience whatsoever, and it'll get like 100,000 views or whatever. Doesn't mean 100,000 people are playing that video game. You can go on SteamDB and find out how many people are playing it.
Yeah, but like, even let's go back to this rumor that Warhammer 3 will have the events, campaign, and so on.
Yeah,
they added the similar thing recently to Space Marine 2 with stratagems, that every day you're getting different missions. They are very cool, but I think the stratagems are played by less than 10% of the community.
Still. Yeah, but even then, those events work for that, because it's what it works for a full 3-man team and shit, right? Like, that stuff is there to make the game different.
It's a match-based game.
Exactly. Whereas Total War doesn't need to be different. Total War just needs to be a Total War campaign.
Total War is a single-player game. Long campaign, single-player. That always was the case with it. Many people will say about it that it's co-op or multiplayer. No, it's not. It's single-player mostly. That's where the community is.
Then there were other rumors, which Valrak kept jumping between his videos for it. But there was like some talk of like a build your own Space Marine, right? Like a Daniel, but build your own Space Marine chapter.
What? I didn't hear that of one. Tell me more.
Yeah,
it sounds
no, like that's all the very faint stuff I heard, right? Like from one of his videos. Thing is, like, he said it was something else in one video, then he like corrected himself in another. Because obviously he's getting information from like different sources, and sometimes it's literally just like whispers, right? And like I heard that, and I'm like, that sounds fucking awful. I hated Daniel. Why are we gonna bring him back? You know, like.
Yeah, the Daniel is the biggest wasted potential of Warhammer 3.
Yeah.
It's a great mechanic on paper, but nothing else. It was never played, never tested. It was just made, and it's visible. Having the same thing for Warhammer 3, 40k, is a terrible idea. I think what 40k should focus on, because it's sadly not something that can be saved in Warhammer 3 anymore, core of the game.
Yeah.
Make the core of the game working, okay?
Yeah.
Look on the core mechanics that are not working in Total War for ages, like Public Order. This is a mechanic that is not working. Corruption. This is not working. Yes. Taxations. Some factions have taxations, some doesn't have. What the fuck? Why we cannot have the pools of resources for the provinces? That this gets dry and so on, yes? Recruitment. Three Kingdoms had great recruitment based on the provinces and so on. Maybe, it doesn't need to be exactly that way.
Yeah.
But it's stupid that you, on a far land, you can do a building that you give your chosen or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those like jumping issues for me where they should just, like, the way I see it, like, I can look at it not so much for Total War 40k, because like the more like Valrak talks about it, the less I'm interested. Put it this way, they've had mechanics that people want. Med 3 needs to have, for example, a robust diplomacy system.
Yes.
Like Three Kingdoms had. Will that be happening? I doubt it. Because it's the lowest common denominator, which is the one that's heard the most. It's the same thing right now with Warhammer. Warhammer is introducing big monster, big monster, big monster. And people are making very silly meme videos on it. right?
Every faction is having a single monster right now, which is stupid.
Yeah, and it's just meme videos. It's like, but that's not what makes Warhammer Warhammer. Like, yes, we should have big monster because they look fucking cool and that's awesome, right? But the issue is, what else is coming in? Why did the Dark Elves that are being introduced for Sunesh, right? Like that thing, what was it? The Anointed? Was it the Anointed that they showed off a while back?
Yeah. The one on the snakes.
No, not the one on the snakes. This like they showed off a Dark Elf in.
Oh yeah, there will be a unit. There will be Dark Elf unit. I think there will be range unit. The only range unit for the Slanesh.
I think so, right? Something like that. But it didn't look like it was a Slanesh unit. It looked like a Dark Elf unit. You know what I mean?
That's a different department. But you know what? I think we should get back to those some of the core mechanics, because I just got an epiphany. One core mechanic that was overcomplicated in Warhammer 3 and is still overcomplicated and not fun are the sieges.
Yeah. How's it taken 5 reworks?
Sieges in Warhammer 2 were way better, in my opinion. They were bad, but they were simple bad. Warhammer 3, they are complex bad.
Well, I wouldn't say that they were bad in Warhammer 2, or I'd say they were boring in Warhammer 2.
Boring. Okay, boring is a better word. They were mid, they were boring, but they were not bad. They are bad in Warhammer 3. The base building, tower building, which should be just totally removed, yes. The maps should be just... Maps from Warhammer 2 could be just extended to back, and less narrow streets, 1-2 streets per city, and that would be it for me.
The problem is, I like the maps, but it's clear that a lot of issues came in for them. It's also the fact of, like, not a lot of thought came into it. How do we have... This game is now, 3 years old, and one of the Empire maps has a dead spot where there's no towers. So you can't actually protect from that well area. And then in the ass ladders, right? They got removed for that beta.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh, that's amazing. And I said, no, it's fucking shit. And people chewed me out from fucking Reddit, but I could prove it in that video, because what happened with the ass ladders, when we got those new ones, right? Those, the ones from Pharaoh, basically.
Yeah. You need to make them.
If you destroyed them, completely destroyed them, before they got to the walls, the AI broke and froze. I had one in that video showcase that I showed off it. There was just one ladder, and you just had all the AI lined up, going one by one up there and dying. I killed Vlad so fucking easily. It was pathetic. That was Vlad von Carstein. He's one of the strongest lords in the game, and he melted.
But this is core. This is a core mechanic that does not work. Okay, let's remove the ass ladder. Let's remove the double towers. I think barricades should stay. Barricades are fine. But ladders should be removed. Don't make that you get the supplies during battles. You just get at the beginning of the battle. Depending on your walls, the tiers, technologies, and so on. It's way more tactical. Especially that you can make effects for enemy that can lower it. Yes?
Yeah.
And make that every faction has a siege gimmick. Vampires.
Did they remove Siege Attacker from fucking Scarbrand?
Yeah, that's stupid. Let's make the gimmick that is like ogres have. Ogres has a gimmick for sieges. All of their units can attack walls. For vampire, let's make that the ghosts can bypass maybe not walls, but the gates at least.
No, they should be able to bypass walls.
Or if it's possible.
That's what they should. But that's the thing, right?
Goblins, spiders can have ass ladders. Of course, without ass ladders, but can just climb and looks exactly the same animation. It's not that hard to do.
Well, it's not only that. Look, Dead Baron just pointed something out here, right?
Yeah.
He's in my chat. It's like, no, Norska can't build walls, right?
Yeah.
And you know what really got to me when the Immortal Empire's released and we finally had Norska properly and stuff like that there, and I'm like, they can't build walls. And I'm there going, but I can literally point to you 7 different Warhammer Fantasy books that prove you otherwise, where they do have walls. Because it's one of the most dangerous places in the Warhammer Fantasy world. What type of moron would not build walls?
Yeah. Because that was a design decision, and they never changed that, which is stupid. in my opinion.
Yeah.
It should be just
You're telling me that
changed.
that place where there's all these big monsters and mutants and spawns and yetis, you're not going to build a wall to defend yourself?
At least spike walls, yes, or something like that. Traps or something like that. Why it's not there? Chaos fortresses. Why they don't have own maps still?
Yeah.
This is like so stupid. Why we can have those buildable towers, but why we cannot just put an artillery on it, on a wall? There was this fort mode that was done, and I made a video about it. It was so good because it simplified the whole problem.
Yeah.
And it made it working. It was not perfect, let's face it.
Yeah.
But it was way better than it is right now.
Why can't we have artillery in the walls? This is another good point. And this is the thing, right? We know that the thing is that was shown off in a trailer, which at the beginning, like that's false marketing, right?
Yeah, on the Dwarfs trailer it was.
Yeah. But we've seen that it doesn't fundamentally change gameplay because FSF Ranger has done like a big map pack where you can have some artillery on the walls technically because there's like a ramp and so on. It works. Like it's perfectly fine. And either way, you're doing that, and then a flying dragon is going to come down and kill it anyway, right? So you still have that risk of having to put it up there and potentially have it undefended. But so it's not that much of an issue.
This goes again with the thing that we're talking, that something is wrong with the chain of command, because hotfix for the AI, for the Lizard Man, many other problems that are in this game are very easily to be fixed. Community backfix mode is showing that, many other mods, Dead Baron is showing that. And it's not done. Questions why it's not being done and why we are again in a situation when Total Warhammer has only 20% positive reviews for the last month. Yeah,
and the thing is that, and this is why other than the fact that I was ill, right? I had to wait to see what was going on before I jumped in, right? Because obviously Legend did this video and stuff like that. I was looking at it, it's like, ultimately, this is going to hurt the game. That review bomb is ultimately going to hurt the game.
Yes,
it is.
It will. Shadows of Change
because Sega will get
the game.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I would not say that it did more wrong than good, but Creative Assembly, as a company, with all due respect, the company that gave us one of the best strategy games ever made, yes, and the biggest for
sure. They changed my fucking life.
Same. That's why we are here and we met.
Yeah.
But there is something wrong in the chain of command there, and if they don't make actual lessons from it, nothing will change, and we'll get back to the next good DLC, maybe, let's hope, TIDES or not, and then there will be a good DLC, and then it will be a bad DLC, and it will be exactly the same with 40k.
Well, what's going to happen if this DLC is bad? Is it going to lead to more layoffs? There's barely anyone fucking working at CA at this point, you know?
The rumors are saying that over half of the staff was fired, yes, for the last years, after the hyenas.
About half of the staff, yes. And that was just for CA Horsham, not counting CA Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I am aware, I don't think anyone from CA Sophia was let go, which is weird considering how much of a flop that Pharaoh was.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was expecting some information about that, because Pharaoh was how many people are playing Pharaoh right now? 10? 100 maybe? On Steam TV, you know.
It's a shame because I feel like Pharaoh wasn't a bad game in its own right. It just released badly. Because had Pharaoh released with the Dynasties mode first, right? Like fully Pharaoh Dynasty. 78 people.
Yeah.
But had Pharaoh released as Dynasties, so not like the first one, but like actual Dynasties, I think Pharaoh would have been like considered a really good Total War game.
You know what? The Dynasty... So on the release, there was a peak of 5,000 players. Where was the Dynasty released? April, May?
No, remember Dynasties is its own game because they did that funny thing about making it its own title.
Okay, so let's check Dynasty. Because the peak of Pharaoh was 5,000. Which is, for games such, scale, is bad. Okay, the Dynasties, have 700 people right now playing, and the peak was 8,000. So it's not that bad.
And it could have been better. Like the problem with Pharaoh Dynasty is that they released the same game 4 times already. Yes, because it was basically just Troy mixed up with Pharaoh. But if it would have been like that large thing,
Nathan, 5,000 people are playing Medieval 2 right now.
Yeah, look how many people are playing Three Kingdoms right now. Because consistently, Three Kingdoms actually doesn't have a bad player base.
4,000, 4,500.
And what was
Right
its
now.
24-hour peak?
9,000. Almost 10. So
Not
yeah,
bad for a dead game, eh?
for a dead game. Exactly.
Yeah.
And why was so much invested in Pharaoh trying to fix this game and not making more DLCs for the Free Kingdoms?
Well, you know the funny thing is, right? We know what happened. DLC quality was really bad originally for Free Kingdoms. You started off with 8 princes, the literal end of the story for the fucking Han Dynasty and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous. We had 2 DLCs for the Yellow Turbans when it should have just been 1.
Yes, it was 2. I remember.
Yeah, should have just been 1, and it would have been an excellent DLC because the tech tree for the Yellow Turbans is great. I like the Yellow Turbans; it's actually one of my favorite factions for Free Kingdoms. I like starting off as like one of them and just completely doing the whole, Rise of the Yellow Heavens and stuff, right? Then they started getting into a good positioning. But by then, the damage had already been done. Because the Lubu DLC was pretty good. I liked it. It basically was the Taurox mechanic before Taurox was a thing.
Mm-hmm. The
Nanman came in. Yeah. Then the Nanman came in. Nanman was fantastic. I was playing Nanman literally fucking last night. I was playing a Nanman campaign. I just united all of that area, and I started pushing into what eventually would be the Kingdom of Wu, right? So then we had that. It was like, okay, cool. We had something really cool. Then we had something which should have caused a controversy, but didn't. We had DLC for base game characters. Fates Divided.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a DLC for Cao Cao and Yuan Shao. However, I played that and I went, oh my god, this is fantastic. Cao Cao has a mechanic which I think should be Neferata's, because it's all these schemes and stuff like that. Then Yuan Shao ended up becoming like, you don't need named characters to be in your armies and so on. You just have like lieutenants and so on. I was like, god damn it, this is really good. And I praised that DLC really heavily. It was fairly priced. It brought in a lot of mechanics. I was like, this is really good. And then Future of Total War. Oh, prior to the Future of Total War Free Kingdoms, before that very insulting video, they had confirmed there was going to be a Northern Lords DLC, which would have been, guys in the chat, because you guys know the geography a bit better, that would have been like the Wuhan bandits and so on, right? Because I'm really bad with geography. I get lost in Gibraltar. So like...
It's how much? It's like two square
2.5
square kilometers?
Yeah, it's about 2.5, yeah. So that would have been around... yeah, I get lost here. So that would have been around Wuhan, right? But
people are writing on my chat that 3K was the best Total War.
Xiongnu, right? Xiongnu, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, that would have been northern areas, right? That would have been cool. We had the map there for Korea. Like, it was already there, but nothing was done. Funny fact is there's a modding team right now for Free Kingdoms, right? Which with 13 mods, it finishes off the game because it gives you Korea. It gives you an expansion also to the east into a little bit of, into the west, sorry, into a bit of Mongolia. And it adds in so many playable factions. It is incredible. It is incredible.
Mods had to do it, and this is a problem again. Why mods had to do it?
Proto-Huns, yeah, exactly.
That could be sold by Creative Assembly.
Yeah, it could have been sold. And thing is, there was a leaked thing. Sega, funny enough, leaked their sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it showed that Free Kingdoms outsold Warhammer for base game, right? How do you have something that sells so many copies but doesn't sell DLC?
That's a good question.
I saw the excuse from a content creator, so I'm not going to name him, and I don't think he's ever doing Total War content anymore. I think he's long gone. But this content creator said, well, the Chinese audience doesn't buy microtransactions. It's like, are you fucking joking? You know how many gacha games and stuff like that comes
based on microtransactions.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Like,
We see it with the company that bought Dying Light creators. They are putting microtransactions every company game they ever bought. It's microtransaction only on the Eastern world. That's the fact.
You know how I tell you completely. You know how Free Kingdoms could have succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the fucking story.
Maybe
Literally,
not release the ending as the first DLC.
You get one DLC, right? Like one DLC on the Yellow Turban Rebellion, one DLC focused around Dongzhuo and all that type of stuff, another one around Lubu. You just keep following the actual romance of the Three Kingdoms. There's so much they could have done on that.
Yeah, but
so much.
Someone just Gemma just said on my chat that this is Chinese market, so it's different. Yes, the games are being sold there. They are not via Steam usually. It's a bit different. So it's again at the back all that we want to get any solutions, but maybe let's get back to the main topic. We are here.
No, but it's another point. It's another point. A lot of people say that there's no interest in like Chinese history and stuff like that. Did you play Dynasty Warriors Origins?
Oh no, that was.
I loved it. I fucking loved it.
I watched a few videos about those games. Like, those fighting all armies and so on. They looked funny.
Yeah, but they made like the last game prior to Origins was shit, horrible, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is like it's because people aren't interested in Chinese history." People are interested in Chinese history. It sells stupid amounts of copies.
The movies, there is like a whole series about the Three Kingdoms. Chinese. Yeah. There is this. Even though Netflix did like a version of it, but there are zombies.
There's
Chinese
so much that goes
really
there.
sells.
Yeah, because it's from a historical point of view, from people who obviously play Total War and want a historical game. There is so much weird stuff that happens in Chinese history during the Han period.
Mm-hmm. But
like
not
so
only
many
history,
people.
but you can add a DLC that is mythical. Wukong. Look how Wukong sold because it was selling a very complex Chinese history. I watched a video explaining it. I still don't understand what I watched, but again, it's selling all the Japanese historical games like Ghost of Yotei recently. Eastern world is very promising, very attractive to us Western people.
Yeah,
very. And I don't know why. Fact that some DLCs didn't sell is a factor for killing the game. If that would be the case, then Total War Warhammer should be killed with Shadows of Change.
No, thing is, it's still selling because when it comes to Warhammer, remember that Warhammer fans have no impulse control. And they will buy, and they will buy, and they will buy. Because if you look at the tabletop people, as soon as the meta changes 40k, someone who's just putting about $5,000 into their Space Marine army will spend another $5,000 to buy the same Space Marine army to paint it in a different color.
You know, like this mean what happens to the child that is not loved?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's buying Warhammer.
Yeah, and it sucks that there's just no... Look, I come from a fantasy background more than 40k. I love 40k. I have a Tau tattoo and everything, you know. I love 40k. Hell, I've got a Dawn of War quote. I have a Dawn of War quote tattooed on me.
What's the quote?
Long shall be your suffering, joyous be your pain.
I thought that I hear the voices.
No, that one's going on my ass.
You hear the voices too.
But look, I love 40k also. I just love fantasy more. It's my setting. It's where I feel more comfortable, right? But I don't want to jump into 40k if fantasy is just going to be completely ignored. If it was the end of the lifespan, sure. It's not the end. Yeah. There's still stuff they can do.
There's still stuff that they need to fix. Factions making even there are like Bretonia is in the dirt still. Yeah, and other. But the pacing of those updates is horrible. As I said, reworking of a technology tree for one person is 1 week of work, really.
Well, what do you expect? There's like 5 people working on Warhammer 3. And then the others are working on possibly 40k, possibly Medieval 3, Alien Isolation 2. People keep forgetting that that's a CA game.
Oh my god, so we have 3 games in works right now.
That we know of.
That we know of course. There are prototypes. Probably some things are prototypes. And
there's likely 4 or 5 others.
That are prototypes. Okay, so let's think what this DLC can offer people that it actually makes them getting back to this game and changing the reviews on Total War Steam page.
You know what would start getting the reviewers coming back? You know what could actually get the reviews starting to come back?
What
Communication.
Communication.
It won't fix everything. But literally, communication. Question and answer sessions. With obviously the community holding back and not going, look, fuck you and stuff like that, because that doesn't help.
No.
That doesn't help. But literally just sitting down, going, hey, things haven't been good right now. Let's have a talk.
And be open about the things that are not working. And again, we're getting back to the games that we like. So World of Warcraft. What happened with the Shadowlands? What happened? Why Dragonflight was a better expansion than the Shadowlands? Because they said, okay, for the last expansion, we were doing borrowed power. And it was problematic. You know what? We need to get back to the core. We need to work on the things that you liked, like flying, yes, reputation rework, adding war camps, things like that.
Profession rework is very good. I don't know if you've done professions yet.
I'm still like level 40 Demon Hunter. I'm playing for 2 days, so because last time, people that don't know, I last time played World of Warcraft, it was Legion, so I got back to Legion Remix to check it out again. And
so you won't be able to do professions in Remix because it's its own thing, right?
Yeah.
It's on the live servers rather than the seasonal servers. But the profession rework is very, very good right now. And there were issues that came from the profession rework, and those are being fixed for midnight. So they've gone, okay, we've heard everyone's feedback. This is going to get slightly tuned a little bit differently, and it's going to be less of an RNG focus.
Yes.
I was like, that's great.
But the thing is, and same with Diablo 4 right now. So I'm really giving an example of Blizzard often because this is a company that was very low and is getting very high, in my opinion. Many things that they are doing is that they are not afraid of revert the changes or remove entire things that they know that they fucked up.
Yeah.
And there are things in Total Warhammer 3 that are fucked up. Survival battles should be removed. Let's face it. Those survival battles that are in the chaos ways should just be moved to normal battles. I know this is a future that you advertise the game, but let's just remove it. Yeah. Building the towers of the sieges, just remove it, okay?
Yep.
Think about the solution for later, reworking the siege, but for now, let's just remove it.
Well, I've got a question though, right? Regarding these features that clearly, if you or I would have played during an alpha or a beta test or whatever, would have said this is awful. Because we know now there's a tester group. We know now, they denied it publicly once, but there is. Who is the tester group, and why is this feedback not being taken into account? Or are these testers not providing feedback?
You know what? There's also another possibilities. Their feedback is not being put into consideration.
Yeah.
Because
so why are they there?
I'm making my own game for the last 2 years, and the process of making a game is removing stuff that you did very often. The things that are working on paper look great on paper, like the Siege rework looked great on paper in Warhammer 3 when it was being released, with those towers, barricade, new maps, and so on. But the moment you're starting to play, okay, this is not working. Kislev factions, Slanesh, Khorne, all those base factions for Warhammer 3, their mechanics, why they're being reworked right now? Because they never worked. This is a problem that Creative Assembly is rather add a new mechanics than remove something that was in the past. The only faction that actually had something removed entirely from them was Cathay with Harmony.
Well, it wasn't removed. It was like reworked like 9 times.
Yes, but it's still bad.
Yeah.
And why DLC Lord is feeling like that the whole faction should be. With a compass and so on. Luan Boys.
But they've got internal testers, obviously, like QA and so on, right? I can't think of someone going into the realm of Tzeentch, right? Going into the realm of Tzeentch for the fucking Souls campaign, and going, oh yeah, this is great.
You know how easy the realm of Tzeentch could be fixed?
deleting it.
Movement replenishment.
Oh yeah. Movement replenishment would have helped a lot.
So you can do it in 1-2 turns and not be stuck for fucking 20 there.
Yeah. And the problem is the AI, because it's AI, will instantly know where to go. So you're actually not playing, you are playing find the point. Yeah. The AI is playing get there as fast as possible.
In my opinion, it should be that it doesn't have turn. It's like a mini game that you can do in 1 turn. And if you take a wrong gate, then you're getting some kind of penalty.
Yeah.
Like small leadership nerf to like -1, -2 for army. It can stack for few turns, but that's it.
Yeah.
That would be way fucking easier. The Slanesh one also. Okay, it was cool. The lower you go, you get a better reward, but god fucking damn it, it's an end turn simulator.
It is. It's becoming an issue with that. So like I'm trying to find their blog because it's just becoming an issue, right? So I'm trying to get it from the phone because I can't do it from the PC because obviously I'm recording the screen.
So, one of users is suggesting that the Dogs of War should be a free DLC.
The Dogs of War I don't think are happening.
I wish they would, but with actual pace of the content, and I still sadly don't believe that the Tides of Torment will be a big content drop. I don't believe that they will do it. They will be an End Times probably DLC, like a farewell DLC with a Nagash. Probably no one else. I don't expect Neferata even. And that will be it. Really.
Yeah.
It's really visible that all hands are on different projects right now.
Yeah. They're down. They're working on so many games at the same time. They're working on so many different projects. The problem that's coming up from that is, okay. Best way I can explain it was during my music GCSE. So that was an exam that you do when you're like a teenager and stuff. It's like what helps you decide for your A levels and then before going into university.
We don't have things like that in Poland.
Right. So we were given it's like a coursework. It was basically write a small EP worth of songs, fully, record them, present them, right? A lot of musicians would go, okay, I'm going to write one song and then I'm going to write another song and it's just going to be easy from that point, right? That's the EP, that's the product. One of the guys in my class was, I'm going to start working on all the different songs and completely destroyed himself because the product was never finished.
It's always the case, yes. You're not starting to write a book from a trilogy.
Yeah.
Try to one close shot story, yes. Or making a game. Don't make like movies. There are so many movies that are ending with a cliffhanger and they are shit because the story doesn't close or things like that. And if Creative Assembly is doing what you're saying right now, that is, they are just there's a Polish saying that you're pulling too many crows that you can handle.
Yeah.
So where is it? Their Golden Child, actually right now Golden Child. So Warhammer Fantasy is being neglected for the past almost 12 months, and it will be 12 months in December. Totally neglected, with additions to Tombkins in Lizardman, which were good. Some Kislev reworks, which were good. And now we want to go into 40k, I think that we spoke about, and have same faith that it will be a good game. It will be a good game. Look on the past. Look on our past products.
Well, look, someone just pointed something out here, right? Samara's just said, so you guys think Dogs of War will be an old world Total War with the rest of the stuff like Int and Koresh? I don't think a Total War old world is happening. And I don't think a Total War old world should happen.
No.
Why should they abandon Warhammer 3 and go to work on Total War old world?
Well, it's never happening.
Of course not.
I would believe that if Warhammer 3 lifespan would be better, if we actually had the DLCs, and then maybe there will be like a separate campaign that is old world only, something like Chaos Robbie did with his amazing mod. But I don't believe that. I think that 90% of the company is in 40k right now, and because they want to present it this year, they want to show it not only with a trailer.
I can't wait to see an in-game trailer with the Space Marine with the bolter and the fingers are clipping through the bolter, and
I want to see the squad of Space Marine that is 100 units and the Guardsmen are 200 units.
Yeah,
and the Guardsmen are killing Space Marine.
Yeah, and just units like being pushed aside rather than actually like going through and stuff like
This
that.
is the thing that really excites me about Dawn of War 4, that they have this sync combat. Fully sync
Every
combat.
single unit.
And it's actually true, you saw it?
I saw so much sync combat. Some of the stuff wasn't like done, finished, right? Like for example, I could say like I can I'm legally allowed to say like some stuff that I saw was untextured.
Yeah.
Because work in progress game, right? But I tell you what, I was seeing animations and not even just the sync stuff, just the way that the Space Marines moved. It's like, oh god, that's so good, you know? Like
not
the
bunny
way
rabbits like in 3.
Yeah, exactly. No bunny rabbits, no backflipping Terminators. Everything was done just to such a beautiful state, and you could see it. Even the stuff that was untextured, one of the buildings was untextured, but it was like slightly animated, right? And you could see it's like there's a lot of love put into this. Same reason with like terrain destroying and stuff like that, right? Like you could see it. It looked like there was a lot of attention put into that.
Iron Harvest has a wonderful destruction of environment. The buildings are collapsing, the trees are burning. It's wonderful and wonderful made. So I have a full faith in what they are doing here. And
it's just
we would like to have the same love in Total War, Warhammer Fantasy.
And it felt like that originally. Like, look, Warhammer 1 was not a good game.
It was a great
Let's be honest.
base.
It was a great base. Warhammer 2 became a fantastic. And you could tell there was a lot of love. Like, the Twisted and the Twilight.
Yeah.
I used this events recently. The community saw the mechanic for the Forge of Dave, got really pissed off. Within a few days, Creative Assembly did a post. We're going to do a beta. We're going to fix it. We want you guys' feedback.
It was opposite of what just happened recently. They reacted immediately. Okay, we are sorry. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
Just give us time.
And that's what we need from CA, rather than I'm going to go on Reddit and I'm going to post a response. Again, the reason why I keep bringing up the Reddit thing is because it's not an official fucking platform.
They have official forums and things like that. Why respond on Reddit?
Owned by a fan.
Owned by the fan. This is like crazy.
It's not where official communication should go. No company does that. Communication should be there for other stuff, like little things. But when a big drama kicks in, everywhere, it should be everywhere.
Yeah. And right now we have the situation, getting back to the main topic. So we have a trailer. And instead of give us a trailer that is mid, let's face it, this is a mid trailer. It's not the best. I will watch it like 5 more times and maybe it will be better for me. But it hypes nothing. We don't have a blog. We don't have a screenshot. I would like to see a blog with concept art. You remember the Zintree work blog?
Yes.
For Kairos?
Yes.
It had the concept art, the things that are not final in the game. Why not just put it randomly? Don't give any comment. I want something to be hyped about. I want to see that something's being done. I don't believe that you don't have a fan art for units or things like that. Right now, I'm not hyped for the 4th of December at all.
Well, I mean, this was supposed to be originally around people were expecting June, right? And then it got delayed.
Yes.
And then it got to October. We're going to get to December and they're going to delay the game announcements. We're just going to, we're going to be here, dying like that. Like, please show us something. No.
Yeah.
Another delay.
Yeah.
Just like that.
No, they will show it. But I think it also downgrades a bit this event of on December. That will be 25 years of the Total War and Creative Assembly, because it would be better if, let's say, DLC releases on November. It's a great DLC. There's a lot of hype and people are waiting more. And you know what? 2-3 weeks after, we have this event. Bam.
Well, that's another thing. Why are you going to announce... Yeah, you're going to delete... okay. DLC releasing at the same time as a new game announcement is a bad idea, right?
It's a bad idea.
Why are you going to announce 2 games at the same time?
It will... in my opinion, it will do one of 2 things. It will downgrade the DLC reception, or it will downgrade the reception of a new games announced.
Yeah.
It's going to be none of this is even. It's
you're going to split the fan base.
Yeah.
You're going to split the fan base. And it's just, it sounds to me like they're just trying to, okay, like, I don't know if anyone from CA is watching, and I know sometimes they watch. You're not Marvel.
Yeah.
You're just not.
And
the thing,
Marvel fucked up with that.
Yeah, they did.
Too much. There was too much on one space, on one screen. Yeah. Exactly, because they were showing like a screen of 10 fucking Star Wars, series, and we have one of those, Andor and Mandalore. Sorry, so 2.
Yeah. And then not only that, but if you announce multiple titles, what's going to happen? People are not going to stop asking for it. And then they're going to have to do the same thing what happened with Thanquol, because they confirmed they wanted to do Thanquol in Warhammer 2, and then everyone was, where Thanquol, where Thanquol, where Thanquol, where Thanquol.
And it's still not here.
Yeah, they had to actually tell people to stop asking for Thanquol. How silly is that?
And they are doing this again. And for me, it's looking a bit desperate, because maybe they want to ease the blow of DLC being.
I don't think so. I think, like, if they've had this much time, I'm expecting this DLC to be Thrones of Decay quality. If it's not, like, there's going to be a very sad Nathan who's been waiting a long, long time for this DLC. Keep in mind that this DLC was teased back in 2023 with the roadmap.
Yeah, with the roadmap. That was freaking terrible from the beginning.
Yeah. It's just going to be weird. Before we call it, I have a question for you, because Dead Baron mentioned something, and actually, I think that's a really interesting thing. There's going to be a new modding thing, right? Mod Manager. And he's like, next update, asset editor breaks asset editor and RPFM. Do you think like the Mod Manager will break mods, or do you think like they had to get a bunch of modders for this veteran group that they mentioned?
If it will be something on top of mod, then it will be fine. But I'm afraid it won't be. Because if they want to make that it will, let's say, see conflict or things like that, it can break stuff. Yeah. Frodo's RPFM is a fantastic tool. But it's a fantastic tool because it's based on people feedback, bug reports. And when I find something, I rarely do. But if I find something, Frodo fixes it in one day. And things like that. Mod Manager, if we won't be able to get back to the old Mod Manager, it may end in the situation that people will be use the custom Mod Managers, because until CA fixes the bug that will break your campaigns or things like that, it will be terrible. So, modding community is in such a good spot right now in Total War, in my opinion, because we handle it ourselves. How to mod this game. Creative Assembly was helping at the beginning for Warhammer 3 and at the spam of Warhammer 2, but they are not really helping Warhammer 3 right now. Yeah. So let them do the mod manager, but I think those people that are modding will be still using the different tools. And that's the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the issue. That's the issue, isn't it? That's what kind of scares me, I'm not going to lie. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I don't feel too confident with that.
Yeah, let's not end on a bad note.
No, we're not going to end on a bad note.
And I'm happy that there's a Praeton, because the unit looks cool.
I'm not. I haven't painted mine yet, and I've had it since fucking 2012.
I would like to see Chimera in a trailer. Sadly, we did not get it.
Yeah, like there's stuff to be excited about. I said it in my video. I'm really excited for the Etin, because like they are such tragic monsters, even though they kind of did it to themselves. Because the reason why Etins exist is because they betrayed the other Norskins. It's a curse that was put on them.
Oh,
right.
I thought they are like a very corrupted offspring of a giant and Wulfric.
So these Etins were part of their own tribe, and there was a Norscan High King. They were trying to like go down, because every time a Norscan High King happens, it's kind of like an Ever Chosen event, but just light, right? But these Norskins fucked over the others. They were cursed because they were basically dickheads. So what you're seeing is like the fusing of them. They were like corrupted in a very kind of spawny way.
Okay, that looks good.
they're very
Crafted
cool.
in
They're
a way
also
like
very,
Mad Max, a bit.
yeah, in a sense. So like it's like vestigial twins and so on.
Yeah,
But some of them
like a
can be
Mad Max.
spellcasters. Some of them are normal like fighters. But they're really really cool. And unfortunately, like it's tragic, but it's also like you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of the North Star rework. Really do.
I don't know, man, because like the dwarf rework was so fucking good, and like the Nurgle update and so on, and the Kislev update was really really good. So
Okay, I agree with those.
I don't think we're gonna have issues from Norska. Uh, I hope that Nikari, my boy up there, doesn't get screwed over like Scarbrand did, where Scarbrand got nothing.
Get something.
Yeah.
So,
That's what worries me.
Yeah, Gemma is saying that the Empire rework was good. Yeah, it was like third
Yeah.
or fourth Empire rework that was finally
Was the
good.
fourth
Fourth that
fucking
was
dwarf
actually
rework.
good. All the dwarves reworks were good, in my opinion. Yeah, they were. I like the fact. It's one of my most favorite faction from the first game, at least. I played it.
But now that you mentioned that, right, the whole thing about like multiple reworks, it's fine if it takes a while to get there. I think that's perfectly fine. Kislev took a while and so on. I think it's just, just admit it. It's like, okay, look, we didn't do the best job. That's it. I think it's just a little honesty goes a long way.
Yeah. We thought that this is okay, this is bad. Let's just move it. Let's remove it. But blogs like that. There were blogs like that in Warhammer 2. Where are they now?
Yeah, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah.
But we've seen some cool units. The Mer one, I think everyone is excited for. Like we technically had a Merworm in game. It's just it never really existed as a unit because obviously it was a part of the Vampire Coast storyline, which I'm hoping the Vampire Coast actually get access to undead Merworms with a different skin. That would be lovely. Just like
Vampire
tint them a
Coast
little
really
bit.
need love.
Yeah, so it would be nice. I think we've got some cool units. It's just we need to actually see them in action now, and then maybe the hype will start getting up there.
I think it's a good idea to talk again in a month when we'll 2-3 weeks, when we'll get a gameplay.
Yeah.
Actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And then I hope really that our estimation will change after it.
So we'll have to see where it goes from there. But we are going to call this conversation done. It will be available to watch on Venrus's channel, my Twitch, and I'll post it as a VOD on the main one probably tomorrow. Because I've been wanting to go to the bathroom now for about 45 minutes.
I was not eating anything for like 6 hours, so
yeah. Well, I'll likely continue streaming now. Probably like we can have some conversations, guys. I do apologize that we weren't going into the chat a lot. It's just we wanted to vent a lot of frustrations, and there will be more chats like this in the future. So I will continue streaming now anyway, probably playing somewhere and we can talk about any fears that you guys have. But I really want to go to the bathroom. Venrus needs to go eat.
Yeah, I need to do something. So it
thanks
was
for watching.
Very
guys.
lovely conversation, and have a nice evening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, and I'll let you go so you can get some food.